Hello people, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we talk about top 10 recently discovered ancient skeletons that tell curious tales. Human skeletons can be strange, even in the most normal of positions. Ancient bones have a particular knack for dropping jaws, and not just their own. Societies who lived long ago sometimes buried their dead in strange ways for reasons that defy even what the experts know of their culture. But enigmatic skeletons are not the only ones found at odd angles. Victims of feuds, murder, and failed rebellions make a tragic return, while double graves reveal people with unexpected gestures and placements. Number 1 is the Mesolithic Hall-Burial. During the Mesolithic, hunter-gatherers never remained in one location for long. When 9 skeletons were found just 50 miles north of Berlin, archaeologists excitedly realized they were looking at one of the earliest permanent cemeteries in Europe. It was used between 6400 to 500 BC, and the oddest resident was a man who had been buried upright. Not only does he stand in a vertical grave, but he was only partially covered up. Number 2 is Sacrificial Twist. Along Peru's north coast, ancient prisoners of war could look forward to one fate. During gory ceremonies, such men were sacrificed. Recently, researchers encountered a different version when they found 6 skeletons near the city of Chiclayo. Found at a temple in Pucallpa, they had clearly been sacrificed. Surprisingly, the remains belonged to healthy young women. They were killed around AD 850, and their bodies arranged in odd positions. 4 were piled into one grave. The other 2 were on sloping platforms, feet in the air. Number 3 is the Yamal Four. When scientists opened medieval graves in the Yamal Peninsula, they found something odd. The archaeological site Yamal 3 is an 11th century cemetery where 4 graves defied the norm. Unique for the time, the skeletons were crouching in a fetal-like fold. There are no similar graves on the peninsula. Other sites produced bodies in extended positions, which was normal for Yamal's medieval period. Number 4 is Dark Side of the Etruscans. The Etruscan civilization remains one of the most fascinating cultures. Peaking around 900 BC, they were advanced and artistic. From them, the French learned about winemaking and the Romans how to build roads. Their grave goods and art revealed an eclectic, good-natured people who respected their women. One skeleton brings a little-known aspect about the Etruscans to the fore, that they also had a cruel side. Number 5 is the Murdered Pict. Excavations in Scotland delivered an unexpected skeleton in a cave. The man was on his back and cross-legged. Beach stones weighed down his limbs. Found in the Black Isle, Ross-shire, the presence of human remains was surprising. They also found fireplaces and rubble from ironworking dating back to the time when he died. Number 6 is Cylon's men. When developers began digging outside of Athens, the idea was to start clearing the land for new cultural centers. Instead, some human bones rose to the surface. After all were dusted and cleared, a tragic sight met the living. 80 men, nearly half of them shackled, were sitting in neat rows. The majority were healthy, young individuals in the prime of their lives. 2 vases unearthed from the mass grave allowed researchers to date the site to 650 to 625 BC. The date range placed the group in a volatile era for Athens. Number 7 is Beshtasheni. Recently, an ancient cemetery called Beshtasheni turned up 2 headless corpses and a head without a body. The graveyard consisted of 16 graves left behind by late Bronze Age and early Iron Age tribes in southeastern Georgia. A young couple occupied a double tomb. The man was aged between 19 to 25, and the woman was around 23 to 25 years old. Their headless skeletons were in the fetal position. Resting on her right side, similar to her partner, the probable cause of the woman's death came in the painful form of 2 bronze arrowheads. One had struck her in the leg and the other lodged close to the heart. Number 8 is Feuds in the Desert. Over the course of 20 years, archaeologists studied 170 bodies in the Sonoran Desert. They were all laid to rest between 2100 BC and AD 50. Throughout the ages, burial customs in the Sonoran changed little. The dead were respectfully placed on their side in a curled-up position. The final resting place was then decorated with shells, crystals, bone tools, and pipes of stone. Number 9 is the gender bender. The corded ware culture was a Stone Age people who buried their dead according to gender. When men died, the grave was filled with weapons and tools, and the body was placed facing west. Women went into the afterlife with domestic ware while looking into the opposite direction.